Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode. It's your spiritual bestie, Big Taj. And today I want to spend some time talking about energetic alignment because I think I throw that word around a lot and I haven't really ever stopped to tell you what it is. I mean, I have told you, but just in my own special way. But I wanted to dedicate an episode on what it is, how it appears in relationships. But not only that, like what are some tools that we can use to get into energetic alignment? Okay. So if you're not familiar with energetic alignment, it is kind of what we talked about last week when we're talking about how to use your thoughts and your emotions. But this is making sure that your mind, body, and soul are in complete harmony and balance, okay? Because when your mind, body, and soul are operating in conjunction, operating as a team instead of separate forms of consciousness, then you are actually able to realize your dreams and your desires, meaning make them material, make them real. So from the previous episode, I talked about how the three states in consciousness that you have are mind, body, and soul, or thoughts, emotions, or actions, and how in order for you to grow and evolve and function properly, then those three need to be in conjunction. And what that means is how you think, how you feel, and how you act should be in alignment with each other. So if you think a thought, I want a new car, every single time that you wake up and you are taking the action of bringing that new car in. So whether that be you looking through car dealerships, you trying to figure out what type of car you want, you going and you test driving, whatever it is, you are making sure that you feel while you're doing that excitement, joy, bliss, and all those high vibrational emotions that bring things in. But say for instance, you're having money issues and now you're trying to bring a car in and you're feeling like fear or worry or stress or guilt because maybe you spending the money behind your husband's back, whatever the case may be, you're actually repelling that thing based off of your emotional world. So your thoughts actually direct and point you. That's the thing that you're focused on. So it points you in whatever direction, but your emotions decide whether something is coming towards you or going away from you, along with your actions. Okay, because your actions are just going to be based off of your thoughts and your emotions and whether or not they're working together or they're working separately. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to have harmony between your mind, body, and soul, because it leads you towards a sense of clarity, but also momentum when it comes for you to create the most authentic and abundant life that you can create. Now, I've talked about this before on my platform, but there was actually a study done saying that the most potent energy coming off of us is authenticity. And a lot of us, specifically generators, who are 70% of the population, just came here to exist. Okay, by us just being here and living a life that we actually enjoy living, having fun, showing up authentically, we are able to pull abundance towards us. But until you can show up as yourself, you're going to struggle when it comes to abundance because abundance and authenticity go hand in hand. Okay. When you can show up authentically, you're showing up as you were designed to show up. Okay. And then you're emitting this potent energy that attracts things towards you. So a lot of us, are asking like, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? Everybody's here to do the same thing, which is show up authentically so that you can make conscious decisions based off of what you actually are, who you actually are, and what energy you possess. It's based off of what you're focusing on, right? So you're going to get abundance either way. However, when you're living authentically, you get what you want opposed to what you don't want. Okay. So what I mean by that is if you living in fear, then you're going to get abundance of things to be fearful of. Especially if you have money issues, then you're going to get an abundance of money issues because that's where you're focusing on the actual issue and not what I could be doing to improve the situation without focusing on the outcome. Okay. I hope that makes sense because I think I made that a little convoluted, but whatever you focus on, you get abundance in, and then you get an abundance of what you want when you're showing up authentically. Okay. So in order for you to show up authentically, it requires you to be in touch with who you actually are. Okay. Being deeply connected to your own energy so you can receive the intuitive wisdom so that you can be in a harmonious flow and have a harmonious rhythm, meaning they're all operating kind of like a machine in a way. Now, energetic alignment is important because it affects every area of your life, like business and relationships, and also your ability to manifest the life that you want. It enhances your ability to manifest the life that you want and to have those desired incomes become your reality. Okay. So you know how people say you attract who you are, right? Or like energy attracts like energy. Well, that is kind of true because we're operating in frequency bands. So if you're at a lower frequency, you're probably going to have things in common with people who are in a lower frequency. Right. But then the moment that you decide to change and that you want something different, you rise in frequency and you're no longer in that same frequency band as those other people. So this is energetic alignment is also important. You be in alignment with who you are with, it's also important because you're going to be building relationships based off of the energy that you exist underneath. You want to be as close to yourself as you possibly are. Otherwise, you're going to be attracting energies that don't really resonate with you. And that makes you feel unseen, unheard, misunderstood, because if you are a different frequency than somebody else, of course they're going to misunderstand you. Of course you guys are going to have conflict and be bumping heads because y'all are operating in two different places, right? But what happens is sometimes we lower ourselves because we love those people, right? We lower ourselves to their energy, and then we just sit in this energy of being misunderstood because we've been misunderstood our whole lives, being unseen, being unheard, being undervalued, right? We decide to choose those things, but that's a choice. When you decide to do something differently and you're raising a higher frequency, you will be able to attract the people that you want to attract, but you have to be what you're trying to attract first, okay? Which means that the change that you want to see, you have to embody it. And when you embody it, you'll attract the right people. I know that's hard for people. And the reason why I say I know that's hard for people, because if you don't trust people, you're not going to be able to attract supportive people, okay? You have to realize that the people that you have come in contact with are the direct result of who you've been at that point of time. And that's not always the case. People who are empaths or people who are lovers tend to attract people who are the opposite energy of them because they know that you're an easy mark. They know that they can take advantage of you. They know they can use you up. Okay. So that's not always the case, but in most cases, you're attracting people based off of how you feel about yourself. Because one thing I can say about the empath is nobody is able to take advantage of you if you have good boundaries. And that's another big, huge part of energetic alignment, is making sure that you are able to set clear boundaries so that you're ensuring that the judgments, projections, and emotions of other people are not affecting your own energy. And another part is making sure you clearing your energy as well, because sometimes the call is coming from the inside. You can say that you're a specific way on the outside, but the body knows the truth. If you're holding on to all these negative emotions, then that is still going to be what you experience, no matter how much you are trying to trick yourself with your mind. Okay, so it's important for you when you're trying to get into energetic alignment that you're setting healthy boundaries and you're also clearing your energy. All right, but you need to be the change that you want to see in other people in order for you to raise your frequency. But you always need to make sure how you think, how you feel, and how you act are in perfect alignment, because you're not going to be able to get the intuitive wisdom from yourself until you see the beauty in your experiences and you love yourself. So those are really important when it comes to energetic alignment. Now, how do we get in energetic alignment? One, you can use your birth chart. It's your birth time is the most important thing about you. What I would do if you don't have your birth time is go to your vital records or vital statistic office in the county that you were born. If you are not in that location, send them a letter. What you're going to ask them for is the certificate of live birth or the long form. A lot of times they ask you why. You can say for dual citizenship, or you can say because you want to do business in another country, and they'll make sure that you have the right form. Now, that is not legal advice. That is just for educational purposes only. But a lot of times they'll give it to you and you know that it's the appropriate one because your birth time is on there, the location that you were born, like the hospital you were born is on there, and the top right corner is a birthing number, your time of birth, everything is on there. Okay. But your time of birth is so important because it tells you what the planets were doing in the sky. And regardless of if you want to believe it or not, we live in a fucking simulation. It's like you come down here to play a character in a game. That means you flip through the characters and you figure out which character is most aligned with you. And then you figure out what character you came to play by astrology. If you don't believe me, study astrology. I promise you, there are patterns that you will be able to pick up on. Okay. So looking at your natal chart is really important for you understanding what character you play. Looking at your numerology, you have 5 life path numbers, 5 core life path numbers that tell you why you came here. Okay. So looking at that, looking at human design. Why? Because human design is going to tell you what your masculine and feminine energy is, what they look like when they're separate. While astrology tells you what the elements are, if you want to do it from the elemental standpoint, human design tells you what the masculine and feminine energy is, how it's supposed to be used, how you're experiencing it, what it looks like when it's out of alignment, what it looks like when it's in alignment, and it just gives you more information. But all those things are going to help you figure out what your energy is so that you can come up with a strategy. But until you have awareness of what your energy is, you're not going to be able to come up with a strategy. You're like shooting darts in the dark. Okay. So if you follow me on any of my platforms, you know that my goal is to get as many of us into energetic alignment as possible. So I offer human design readings, and that's full readings, mini readings. And if you don't have your correct time of birth, I would suggest doing a mini reading. If you do have your time of birth, I would suggest doing a full reading. Okay. Those are $149 on my site. But if you pay attention to me, you're on my lives, you will get discounts. I offer a discount every single month. Okay. I also offer mommy and me readings because I care about them kids. You need to know how to energetically parent your kids because your kids are not designed like you. So you cannot use what was used on you or what was effective for you because it doesn't work that way. And sometimes as a parent, you need help. You need to understand what energy your child falls underneath so that you can do what's best for them. So I offer mommy and me readings because I don't play about them sharing. Okay. So if you're a parent and you need to know how to energetically parent your kids, I don't care how many kids you got, send me their information and I will get you a video. And that video is usually about 2 hours. Okay. So I do human design readings. I also do energetic alignment profiles. Now, these are only $80, y'all. And these take me 5 hours to do, so they shouldn't be $80, but I won't. The first year that I dropped something, I want it to be reasonably priced for the people that are in my community, because if we want privilege within our community, we need to create it. So those are $80 right now. I look at your 5 life path numbers, your numerology. I look at your human design, and I look at your natal chart. Okay, your astrology. I put them all in a format so you can read the things that I think are important from all of those. And then I write out your purpose, your strengths, your weaknesses. When I look at your weaknesses, I look at your emotional weaknesses, the weaknesses of your mind, the weaknesses of your communication, the weaknesses of your career. And then I set goals. If I had your energy, this is what I would be doing right now. And then I set a strategy. I give you things like ways to operate. And not only that, I send you exercises, I send you resources, I send you everything that you need or everything that I will be doing to get myself in energetic alignment. Being in energetic alignment is so important because your manifestations will not work. Those affirmations that you saying over and over again in the mirror will not work until you actually have done the work, making sure that all 3 of these things are in alignment, meaning that you got to do the shadow work. You got to get the negative energy out. You got to make a change, and you probably going to have to go through the spiritual awakening, the dark night of the soul, the ego death, which again, I don't like that terminology, but that's what most people recognize it as, and do the shadow work so that you can make sure that when you say something, you mean it. Okay. So that it can come true. Because when you operating out of your higher self, you know, you don't believe in anything. You know what it is. Okay. So energetic alignment is so important because if you know how to use the mind, body, and soul, you can create the reality that you want, and you can stop feeding into this fear propaganda and all of the things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I've been doing a good job of getting back to y'all on my post here. So thumbs up to me, but like, comment, post, and share, because you know they be trying to hide me from the world. And until next week, I love y'all deep.